for BNI members that want to take their membership to the next level, take our number one core value of Givers Gain to the next level, and bring this BNI system, structure, and education to many business professionals out there that, one, either cannot find an open chair within BNI and or they've never heard of BNI. So in case you're wondering what I just said, they cannot find an open chair in BNI. That's because BNI's membership is an exclusive marketing right, which means we only accept one member per profession per chapter, which means that if you have a chapter with 30, 40, 50 members, that is your marketing team. All members are in different industries that can go out and market your business and refer you business. And that is how BNI members are able to help each other. So with that being said, I'm really excited to provide you with some news that was released not long ago. And the news is that last year in 2020, it was a totally different year, right? It was a lot of things happened in 2020. A lot of businesses went through a lot of challenges and so many things happened to many of us, right? So BNI, being a global organization, they had the resources, the tools to help BNI members to continue to stay in business, keep their doors open, and keep employees employed. So that being said, last year in 2020, I am happy to announce that BNI members across the world were able to generate $16.3 billion in thank you for closed business. What this means, thank you for closed business, means that this is business that was generated via the referrals that BNI members were able to pass to one another, right? Every single chapter, one member per profession per chapter, which means that you don't have a competition in your chapter. You're the only one that represents your industry. So the BNI membership is definitely something very exclusive that you cannot find just about anywhere else, right? So imagine spending your business marketing dollars or marketing budgets and many other avenues where many other professionals in your industry are also advertising the exact same way. With that being said, in BNI, you don't have competition. So it's a no-brainer. With that being said, I just wanted to share that information in regards to the numbers that BNI members were able to generate in Thank You for Closed Business last year. So with that being said, I want to go right into it because this show is for our members. And so we have a cast of members here today that is extremely exciting. And the reason why it's exciting is because when I say the word cast, it almost seems like we're going to go into a show almost like into the frontier, if you would, right? So I'm really excited to have back here on the show Mr. Glenn Henderson. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you, Rick. It's good to be back with you again.
It's an amazing time every time you come here, so we have great conversations.
Absolutely.
I know that you are a BNI member, obviously, and you are a representative of a amazing company, right, that sells amazing products and services. So I would like to get you to introduce yourself. Imagine that you're in your BNI chapter and you're doing your BNI commercial, more of an extended version because we have a little bit more time.
Sure.
And let our viewers know all about you.
Absolutely. I'm Glenn Henderson. My own company is L2G Enterprises, and I represent the wellness company. Who am I talking about? Company's called Melaleuca, based here in the United States, in the state of Idaho. They're a consumer goods manufacturer, and they manufacture over 400 safe, effective, eco-friendly, affordable products for just about every room in your home. Kitchen, laundry, bath, cosmetics, skincare, fantastic line, which I'll get back to in just a moment. There's even an online shopping portal where someone can go to, let's say, Target, Hotels.com, Priceline, and shop as they normally would online and receive rebates and discounts and things of this nature. It's really, if you think about it, what I do at Melaleuca, as a marketing executive, if you like, for Melaleuca, what I do is help people change their shopping habits just a little bit.
Gotcha. Okay.
You know, so see, this isn't a buying decision, you know, where you have to go and pick some unusual thing that you wouldn't normally. I'll put it to you this way. How hard would I have to work to convince you that it would be a good idea to buy laundry detergent this month?
Not very hard at all. We all need it.
Exactly. I think of this almost as anyway.
Right.
Money. Things that people are going to be shopping for anyway.
Right.
And
Necessities.
Exactly. Necessities. Things that people are going to shop for. And so what Melaleuca offers is better, safer, higher quality choices in those products. I'll tell you a quick story. And this story comes out of Lucas mission statement, which is to enhance the lives of those we touch by helping people reach their goals.
Okay.
My wife, my dear wife, Paula, she's the smartest person I ever met, absolutely brilliant geologist, and she has struggled with asthma for a lot of her life.
Okay.
Inhaler a few times a day, the shortness of breath and things. Since we've switched over our entire home to Melaleuca products, Rick, I think she can probably remember where her inhaler is, but that's about how much she uses it anymore.
Really?
Yeah, it's really made that much of a difference. I have a fellow, a customer of mine who's actually a fellow BNI member, a BNI colleague, and he has started taking Melaleuca's flagship product, which is called the Peak Performance Pack Vitamins.
Okay.
He started taking them a few weeks ago. I ran into him the other day. I asked, hey, how are you doing? Have you started to notice any difference with the vitamins? He says, oh my goodness, man, I have so much energy. I can power through my day. And he says, the other day I had a workout, went down to the gym, had a workout. He says, normally when I do a workout like that, I'm just destroyed,
Gotcha.
He said, I finished this workout and said, man.
Feeling good, huh?
I think maybe I want to go again.
That's awesome.
So I get to see people's health, lives improved. And Melaleuca is all about this too. With everything that's going on these days, people are concerned about their overall health, wellness, their immune system specifically. And so Melaleuca has introduced a document for their customers called the Human Immune System, an owner's manual.
Very handy.
Because Melaleuca is absolutely committed as the wellness company to helping people improve their health in their life.
That is
and
amazing.
I get to be a part of it.
And those types of testimonies are a huge part of the products and services. They are quality products,
Indeed.
right? And so that's amazing.
Oh, and the best part?
What's that?
For these better, safer products, higher quality products, you're not going to pay any more. In fact, probably end up paying less than you would pay at your local supermarket.
Is that right?
For the same product, yes.
Huh. Interesting. Then you and I have to talk, because if you were to see my calendar, I need some energy every once in a while. All right. Yeah. So, Glenn, amazing thing about Melaleuca, but I believe that you have some hidden talents. Somebody in the world told me that you have a couple of hidden talents, and one of them is that you're an author. You just published a book. Is that right?
Oh my goodness, Rick! I am so excited about this because this book comes out of a story that's been rattling around in my head and living and growing in me for, I kid you not, 50 years and more.
Wow.
As your viewers can see from my description, I've been a massive, huge fan of Star Trek my entire life. And also because I have found and discovered so many life lessons, so many principles of success, of mindset, teamwork, cooperation, goal setting, perseverance, all kinds of things. And I learned from watching Star Trek, the TV shows, the movies. And so I looked around. I've been looking around over the last few years, and I realized that not a lot of people are still telling the stories of the original cast, the early shows, Kirk, Spock, Picard, and those. Yes, there are new shows now, and they're great. Right. I wanted to go back and tell the stories and share some of the things that I've learned. And so the book is out. It's here. All I need to know about success, I learned from Star Trek. You can find it on Amazon. Okay. And it really, for me, love letter to Star Trek. Okay. And a conversation about, hey, there you go, conversation about some of those lessons I learned. If I may share one. Absolutely, please do. There's a story, I'm intrigued. In one of the episodes of Star Trek The Next Generation, with Captain Jean-Luc Picard and so forth, Riker and so forth, Data, the android who aspires to be human, which is a whole story, a whole chapter unto itself. There's a chapter, I put a chapter in the book, there's an episode where a young man has been enlisted in Starfleet Academy. Okay. And he's going through the training as a cadet. There's a terrible accident, and he's injured. He recovers. However, another cadet was killed in the accident. And this young man, Wesley Crusher, unfortunately chooses to participate in a cover-up of the facts, a cover-up of the truth about what happened in the training accident. Captain Picard does his own research. He discovers what happened, the truth about what happened. And he confronted this young man, Wesley Crusher. The name of the chapter, title of the chapter is The First Duty, and it comes from the speech that Captain Picard gave to Wesley Crusher in the meeting. That confrontation in Captain Picard's office is the ready room. Picard says to Wesley, among other things, he says, the first duty of every Starfleet officer is to the truth. Whether it's scientific truth, or historical truth, or personal truth. It is the guiding principle upon which Starfleet is based. And if you can't find it within yourself to tell the truth about what happened, then you don't deserve to wear that uniform.
Amazing.
No matter what we do, no matter what business we're in, what our job is, our profession, no matter what it is, the principle is tell the truth.
Absolutely.
If you're in sales, tell your prospects and your clients the truth.
Absolutely.
Even if it costs you the sale, which, by the way, it just might not.
Yeah.
You know, in a personal relationship, tell the truth. Even if that truth is uncomfortable, your friend will appreciate you and trust you to share more intimate things. You see what I'm saying? So there's no percentage in lying. Just tell the truth. As some wag has said one time, if you always tell the truth, you don't need a good memory.
Right. Yeah, you don't have to remember what you made up.
Exactly. And so, see, there are so many other conversations and things like this.
Okay.
There's the really funny episode, which a lot of people know about, called The Trouble with Tribbles. That's in here. Right. Okay. And it's a really interesting lesson around that.
You know, something amazing about that speech that Picard mentioned there about the truth, because it's what resonates to my personal model, which is always, you know, I always tell my son, you know, we always have to strive to do the right thing for the right reasons, the right way. And that is
do
just
the right
be
thing
honest.
For the right reasons,
the right way. You know,
I like it.
And you do those three components, you'll be okay.
Yep.
However, you take one of those components out of the equation, good luck.
Exactly.
And that's from personal experience. I'm trying to tell you, it doesn't work. The formula does not work. So do the right thing for the right reasons, the right way, and be honest. You know, that's a true lesson. You know, put everything on the table. And one of the things that I tell my customers is that I tell them right off the bat, you know what? I may not be the most expensive, you know, out there, but I may not be, you know, the cheapest either.
Yes.
I'm going to be right in the middle, but you're going to get great quality service and great quality products.
Exactly.
And that is what retains clients, just being upfront and honest.
Absolutely.
So what led you to want to put all of this in a book?
It really, for me, as I think I mentioned, Star Trek tells a story. It always has. What the story is has varied through the years.
Right.
Over the years. I wanted to make sure that the original stories of Kirk, and Spock, McCoy, Bones, Scotty, I wanted to be sure that those stories never went away.
Yeah.
Because it's not, for me, it's not just a television show.
Right.
It's not just some movies. It's not just a sci-fi franchise. In many ways, I believe Star Trek is a metaphor for life.
Yeah.
And for business and for success. It's why I named the book as I did.
Gotcha.
There are principles of success. One of the other chapters talks about what your real business is, no matter what you do for a living.
Right.
And isn't that what we all really want, is to find our true calling? Maybe that chapter can help somebody.
Right. Yeah. It can inspire
Get
someone.
closer to it. This is it. This is
absolutely. So that's wonderful. Congratulations on the books.
Thank
I mean, I know that's a big accomplishment.
Thank
and we were talking about earlier, you know, your publisher and, you know, your writing coach and all that good stuff. So we definitely need to have a conversation about that, because I've got some ideas for a book that I want to do myself. So that would be amazing. So congratulations again on your book. So let's talk now about your amazing BNI chapter.
BNI chapter.
Every time I ask
Energy
someone,
Corridor.
I know. Every time I ask someone to talk about their chapter, they get that exact same big smile. So everybody loves their chapter, right? Why
Absolutely.
not? So tell me about Energy Corridor.
The biggest thing, the first thing I can tell you, the first thing that comes up for me talking about my chapter is we're a family.
Okay.
Particularly nowadays with everything that's been happening in 2020 and the great Texas freeze out of 21,
Right.
we had each other's backs.
Right.
You know, somebody had blown, I'm coming over, no charge. Somebody else has something wrong with the car, bring it in, we'll take care of you. You know, these kinds of things. And people have gotten sick, you know, various times during the year, and we have supported each other. Yes, we have passed a fair amount of referrals, and thank you for closing business, among our membership, and we're thrilled to do that. We are excited about it, and what I love is that we take very seriously, for example, the number one core principle of BNI, givers gain.
Absolutely.
I've spoken with people outside of BNI, as you mentioned before, as a managing director, talking with people, well, why should I join? BNI is for you. BNI is the kind of organization you ought to join if you enjoy helping people grow their businesses. If you enjoy helping people reach their, hey, wait a minute, Melaleuca, enhance the lives of those we touch by helping people reach their goals. What do we do every day in our chapter, every week in our chapter in BNI? We help each other reach our business and our personal goals. And again, not just from a money side.
Right.
I'm really, really strong about this, particularly with our chapter. I'm sure it's the same way with other chapters as well. With our Energy Corridor chapter, you enroll, you join us, it's welcome to the family.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I really love the way we are with each other.
Absolutely. And you know, the number one core value, you know, givers gain that philosophy of always being of service to others first. Yes. Right? But what you were talking about in regards to taking care of each other, there's another core value within BNI, which is building relationships.
Lifelong relationships.
And there is a lot of times where visitors that come and visit, you know, local BNI chapters, is that they may not get it right away, but it's just one of those things to where once you dive in and once you make the commitment to dive in, you're going to see what building relationships is really all about.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I can only imagine the support that you received when you announced that your book was out.
Oh, my goodness.
And they shared it with the world.
Not only that, I was on the Zoom call with our weekly meeting, our virtual chapter meeting, and I announced and I held the book up. Before the meeting was over, before that call was over, 5 members of the chapter had already gone online and bought the book.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they're still telling all their friends about it.
Absolutely. So, Glenn, now is the time to tell us how can our viewers get in touch with Glenn Henderson to either learn more about the book and or products from Melaleuca.
Okay, you can order the book on Amazon. Just search for Star Trek Glenn Henderson.
Okay.
There it is. Wonderful. And as far as Melaleuca, pretty simple. Melaleuca.com/Glenn Henderson.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Very good. There you have it. And to get an invitation to Energy Corridor, it's as simple as going to our regional website, BNIHouston.com. Hit that little tab that says Find a Meeting, then hit that other little button that says Chapter Directory. Look for Energy Corridor. There will be the time, the day, and the time. And there's a little button that says Visit this chapter. When you hit that button, you'll start your process of visiting Glenn Henderson and all the great BNI members over at Energy Corridor. Glenn, thank you so much for being on the show again. We appreciate you. Thank you for sharing the book. Congratulations again. And I'm really, really hopeful that you come back to the show.
Hey,
do I get my own signed version?
Get your autographed copy.
Look at that.
Here, my friend.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for that.
Absolutely.
All right, folks. Thank you for tuning in. We'll be right back with our next guest. Don't go anywhere.
COVID-19 transformed the way we do business. Now more than ever, fast lead generation and customer retention will determine if a business survives or not. The NowMedia video business card is designed to be sent using your smartphone. It's the next generation business card that will open the door for you while keeping social distancing. The NowMedia video business card is affordable for anyone from startups to multinational companies and is already being used by hundreds of businesses. Stay open, stay in business. Call us today.
My name is Brooks Boyd, and I'm the owner of Senior Savings Organization, a Medicare insurance agency. Medicare is confusing, it is not a one-size-fits-all plan, and I help folks navigate the maze. My main job is to educate so you pick the approach that feels right and make sure you avoid costly Medicare mistakes. I will help with transitioning from group health to Medicare with a personalized report to see if it makes sense to either stay on your current insurance or to consider enrolling into Medicare with either a supplement or a Medicare Advantage plan. And I'll explain the difference between the two and the pros and cons of each. If you need help with Social Security planning, I can show you how to maximize your benefits with a free Social Security maximization report to make sure that you are confident that you will get the most out of your Social Security benefits. I am an independent broker. This is a no-cost consultation, and you will never pay a fee with me.
Graphic design, banners, brochures, business cards, posters, any printing you need for your company's branding, Priority Printing SS is your solution. With more than 30 years of experience, Priority Printing SS has been the preferred solution for hundreds of companies for any printed materials. At Priority Printing SS, they believe in listening to you, bringing you creative ideas to effective results. Your printed materials talk about your company. Make sure they open the door for you. Trust your printed materials to the experts. Call Priority Printing SS at 713-575-9800 and let Priority Printing SS handle with ease all your printing needs.
All right, folks, we are back. Thank you for tuning in and not going anywhere. I know that this show is going to be exciting. It already is. We had Glenn Henderson here a little while ago talking about Star Trek in the book. And now we have the most amazing BNI member because he actually provides a service that sooner than later we're all going to need. And we all have used it and or will continue to use it. So I'm really excited to have Robert Green on the show with Green Light Movers. Thank you for being on the show and welcome.
Glad to be here. Thank you.
Well, it's an honor. You know, this show, this is your first time on the show. So this show was created to add an added benefit to BNI membership, right? And it's all because our little friend COVID taught us something, right? So in early 2020, we were sitting there wondering, how can we help our members, you know, add benefits to our members so that they can, you know, have additional exposure, not only here locally, but nationally and internationally via this show. And so we created this show, and then the owner of Now Media, which shout out to Mr. Juan Guevara, he had this brilliant idea to have me host the show, which is something I've never done. So now we're here, and you are here. And so the reason why we're here is because we want to highlight your business, right? So imagine that you are in your BNI chapter and you're doing your 45, 60-second commercial, maybe a little bit more of an extended version since we have a little bit more time. So go ahead and introduce yourself and your business.
Well, thank you, Rick, for having me. I'm Robert. I'm the owner of Green Light Movers. And just so we keep it simple, there's a lot of moving companies out there throughout Houston, throughout the U.S., and throughout the world. We try to keep it simple, just providing a great service, worrying about our customers first and everything else later. A lot of companies, unfortunately, put money first, and they put their customers' well-being and happiness second. But we understand when you make somebody happy, they're more than happy to pay for a service. And unfortunately, with moving, it's one of the most stressful things you go through in life. I think it's on the top 5 list of most stressful things, probably the top 2 or 3. And normally there's another stressful thing in life that's going on with it, no matter the situation. And so our whole goal is just to make it easy, make it great for them, whatever it may be. And in being in BNI allows us to take care of everything for them, you know, from appliance removal or appliance disconnection to if they need an AC unit taken care of, or if they need an inspector before we come in and get them moved. I'm able to have answers for everything. And so that's another thing that's an added benefit that what we do as opposed to other movers and other companies as well.
Right. So that's interesting. So one of the things that I heard you say is help with, you know, the stress of a move, right? And I can tell you that I've moved a few times myself, and it's not something that I like to do, and I probably don't want to do it as anymore. But anyways, it is stressful to move, right? So Greenlight Movers comes in, and from everything that you just mentioned, what is the customer service, or what is the customer service experience like for a client that Greenlight Movers can provide to the client?
Okay, so with us, we're all about customer service first. So I don't know if anybody's aware of Sewell or a Chick-fil-A, but we try to provide that service.
Okay.
So basically, we want to take our customers by the hand, or most wouldn't, and help them with anything. You know, I had a customer last week that lives in Atlanta, has a home for sale in Humble, and unfortunately, the pipe had busted while she was in Atlanta. Her realtor let her know about it, and she had to call me, try to get things figured out. I helped her set up the storage while she was in Atlanta. She set up via email. I was able to come in, figure out what she needed, supply her with an appliance removal person that can disconnect it for us while we move it. She now asked me for a GC actually 2 days ago as well to help facilitate getting things back together. So that's one thing that we do, is just facilitating everything for them, even outside of just the moving. A lot of movers are concerned just about the moving portion of it, and they're not concerned about really your customers being happy. You know, what else do you need besides moving, or what can be done to make the moving easier for you? And so that's what we're all about, is just facilitating everything for them. We're not quick and easy out. We want to make sure they're happy.
Facilitating everything for your client, I think, is what clients love, because, obviously when we feel like we're getting a great, bang for our buck, especially with having those resources by you facilitating any other services that, the client might need throughout the move. Sometimes, a refrigerator may be in place for many years and, needs a fresh coat of paint behind there, right?
Yeah.
So having those resources of being able to put that, painter in touch with, the client, and that painter will actually be a BNI member, from your chapter,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So great thing. So I'm really interested in finding out, because I'm in marketing myself, and I think people and our viewers would like to know Greenlight Movers and the logo that is within Greenlight Movers. How did you guys come up with that, or what does it mean? What does it represent?
So it's funny, actually. I started with another moving company while I was in BNI.
Okay.
And I loved BNI, I loved working, I loved moving. I just did not like the company I worked for.
Gotcha.
They were one of those that were very big company, they're privately owned, but they were really just concerned about just the money.
Okay.
So in BNI, I told one member, Brian Gessner, I think he's actually been on here before.
Yeah, he's been in here.
I just told him, I want to start my moving company, and just a thought.
Okay.
And the next day, his lawyer was calling me, his financial advisor, his CPA, other people in the group, like, hey, heard you want to start your own moving company. And not only did they push me to do it, but Brian was my very first move. So he put his money where his mouth was as well.
Right.
And also, my logo was made by another member named Joanne Rieger, owner of Fully Promoted in Conroe.
Yeah.
She made my logo a while back, makes a lot of my shirts. And then my friend Gary, who is my health insurance agent, also in my BNI group.
Wow.
I told him I was thinking about starting a business, and I was looking for a name. And when we used to meet in person, he was at the bar after the meeting, because we meet from 3:30 to 5. And so he had what do you call it? Coke and water, I think is what he said.
Right.
And he's like, Greenlight Movers, we're always ready to go. I was like, Gary, that is brilliant. And so it's just everything came from BNI. It's just amazing how, from the name to the logo to the saying, it all came from BNI.
Yeah. There's one term within BNI that many BNI members know, and sometimes many BNI members actually are known as the connectors, right? Because people in BNI, members of BNI, are basically, that's what we are.
Yeah.
We are able to connect many people to many different business professionals that can provide many different types of services, right? And your BNI chapter, not being very far from there, right? So you started your business with just an idea, right? You just decided to go off on your own, and that idea has, became a reality because you had the connections.
Yeah, exactly.
The one person that believed in you put you in contact with everyone to be able to put that together. Imagine being out on your own and deciding to go and build your own business without having that support, without having those connections. Would it be as easy? Would it have been as easy?
It would have been very hard.
It would have been extremely hard, right?
Yes.
So, that's one of the things we want to tell our viewers, that the BNI members are more than just BNI members. Not only do we build amazing business relationships, but great friendships, very long-lasting friendships and business relationships to be able to help us, and we help them. And what better way to grow not only personally but in business than to be able to promote each other's business, like Brian Gassner believed in you and he recommended all his BNI members to help you, and then vice versa, you're also returning the favor and helping them. So that's amazing. It's a great story. Thank you for sharing that. And that's one of the reasons why when I see a logo that I like to know the story behind it, because there's an amazing story. So let's go back to Green Light Movers very quickly. Aside from customer service and the customer experience, I imagine that now, tell us a little bit about Green Light Movers. How long have you been in business, and how has your business grown since you started your business?
So I've been in business, it'll be 4 years in November.
Okay.
My business has grown quite a bit. It was all unexpected. Started on an idea. Tired of a company I was with before. Didn't realize what I was getting into. And fortunately, I had people in my BNI group that took me by the hand and led me down the right path of how to run a business the proper way. Also what to do in situations as well. Right. So that's allowed me to grow a lot. In my first year, I did very well. Didn't have to struggle, which is rare for somebody in their first year of business. Right. I didn't have to wonder where my business was going to come from because it came from BNI. And it's my BNI group. All the groups were really big supporters of Green Light Movers. Okay. And it's grown year after year. And with COVID, where the world shut down, I was able to really see where a lot of my business was coming from, which was BNI. Right. And if it came from another place that was word of mouth, it all stemmed from BNI first. Right. So BNI has done a lot for me. Yeah, absolutely. So one of the things that you mentioned is being able to visit other BNI chapters because it's crucial, right? Because what I mentioned earlier in the show is that BNI is very chair specific. So when someone becomes a member, you purchase that exclusive marketing right, which means one member per profession per chapter. But I do have to say that in the 54 chapters that we have in the city of Houston that I know of, there's only a few that have a moving company representative within the chapter, which means that although those other chapters that do not have a moving company, you can visit and network with other BNI members and their visitors that may be visiting that particular week and expand your network and expand your brand and obviously take your business to the next level using this system. It's very true. An amazing story. I love that story. So tell us a little bit now about, we've been talking about your business, but we want to know about your BNI chapter. Yeah, so I'm part of a group called MC Moneymakers. Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm sure y'all have heard about us. Of course. We're a little crazy, but it's the best group. We meet Thursdays, 3:30 to 5. We just have a lot of energy and a lot of camaraderie. A lot of people in that group, really I can say all of them, are like family for me. Yeah. I was actually scrolling through Facebook before coming here on our BNI, on our MMM Facebook page for our group. And there was a picture of Chris Raymond, who's my insurance guy, and he was cooking food at Kara Despo's house. Oh, okay. I was a little jealous I didn't get the invite, but that's kind of what we show there. It's like, you're hanging out, supporting each other. She was like, hey, Chris, what are you doing? He's like, hey, I'm almost home. Hey, come over for dinner. And so it's like that. Laura in my group, she's my commercial insurance. Yeah. I know if I want to come over, I just come to the house, knock on the door. Yeah. Don't have to say anything. Same thing with Brian. So it's just it's a big family. Yeah, it's a big family. You're building those relationships. You have built those relationships throughout the years to where it feels like a family. It feels like you are a part of a community that is actually there. Now, the right word, I'm choosing my words carefully, the right community that is there to help and support each other without expecting anything in return. Exactly. Right? It's just because we want to see each other grow and help each other. So that is amazing. So tell us about MC Moneymakers, which, by the way, I personally also call them the noisemakers. Yeah, MC noisemakers. We're noisy. We're noisy. It's because it's totally true. I remember at the big breakfast event last year, you guys won that event. And I remember seeing you there. Were you the one dressed in that suit, the money suit? Was that you? I had to stand out. So yeah, I had a whole money suit on. You had to stand out, and you did stand out. So anyways, MC Moneymakers did something very amazing during 2020, last year during the pandemic. You guys actually doubled the size of your chapter during the beginning of the pandemic, helping many business professionals have that, what we have, that business, that relationship with all the other members. Plus, we have the BNI system, structure, and education that it has to help our business, grow. You guys taking the lead here in Houston by doubling the size of your chapter during a pandemic in a virtual setting, impressive, my friend. Thank you. You were
your chapter is still talked about, all around town because it's you guys are the money makers.
Yeah, I was just a part of it. I won't take any I don't want to take any of it from them, but
Yeah.
it was all our leadership. They had a big play in it. Obviously, Brian Gessner, Laura Vasquez, Kara Despo, Jessica Place, they all had a lot to do with it, and they just kept the same feel that we had in our normal group. They kept that virtually as well, and we kept we have what we call happy hour because we do meet 3:30 to 5.
Right.
It was at at Macaroni Grill, not Magnolia Grill, at Macaroni Grill. So we had a bar, so they would go drink afterwards. That's where the real magic happened. The one-to-ones happen as well, and so we kept that the same as well. So we do still have a happy hour afterwards, all virtually. We still have the same energy in the group. We just didn't lose any of that fire just because we weren't seeing each other in person.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, good. It's great to hear because obviously it works, keeping that energy. And I think MC Moneymakers are big supporters of this show because many of your members have been here, Brian, Laura, Kara, and now you. Many others have been here. So we definitely do appreciate MC Moneymakers and everything that you guys are doing for the community and helping each other and supporting each other. So now is the time for you to tell us or tell our viewers, how do we get a hold of Greenlight Movers to get a quote on a move?
So the best way to get a hold of us is, you can call us. The number is on the screen. It's 832-929-6683. You can also email me at robertgreen@glmovers.com. And then our website, glmovers.com. You can go on there, check us out. We also have a contact form at the bottom. And then if you want to see what we're about and how we do things, there's also a video up top of showing the guys moving. And then there's also a virtual reality tour in the middle of that page that puts you inside of a move, what we do on every single move. So that would be the best way to get in contact with us. And then you can also, if you're friends with me on Facebook, or if you're on Facebook, then you can also find me at Robert Green. But there's unfortunately many Robert Greens, so it may be a little hard to find.
Yeah, no worries. Well, definitely appreciate you being on the show, buddy. And I hope that you come back and share some more about Greenlight Movers and what you guys are going to be up to in the near future. Definitely you come back, and I appreciate you being here. So I hope that to see you again soon.
Oh, thank you, Rick. Definitely will be back.
I appreciate you. All right, folks, to visit MC Moneymakers, the noisemakers, go to BNIHouston.com and hit that Find a Meeting tab. Then find that chapter directory tab. Look up MC Moneymakers. Then hit that tab, visit this chapter, and either Robert Green or somebody from MC Moneymakers will reach out and provide you with an invitation to go visit MC Moneymakers. Thank you again, Robert, and we'll see you again soon. Stay tuned, folks. We'll be right back.
COVID-19 transformed the way we do business. Now more than ever, fast lead generation and customer retention will determine if a business survives or not. The NowMedia video business card is designed to be sent using your smartphone. It's the next generation business card that will open the door for you while keeping social distancing. The NowMedia video business card is affordable for anyone from startups to multinational companies and is already being used by hundreds of businesses. Stay open, stay in business. Call us today.
My name is Brooks Boyd, and I'm the owner of Senior Savings Organization, a Medicare insurance agency. Medicare is confusing, it is not a one-size-fits-all plan, and I help folks navigate the maze. My main job is to educate so you pick the approach that feels right and make sure you avoid costly Medicare mistakes. I will help with transitioning from group health to Medicare with a personalized report to see if it makes sense to either stay on your current insurance or to consider enrolling into Medicare with either a supplement or a Medicare Advantage plan. And I'll explain the difference between the two and the pros and cons of each. If you need help with Social Security planning, I can show you how to maximize your benefits with a free Social Security maximization report to make sure that you are confident that you will get the most out of your Social Security benefits. I am an independent broker. This is a no-cost consultation, and you will never pay a fee with me.
Graphic design, banners, brochures, business cards, posters, any printing you need for your company's branding, Priority Printing SS is your solution. With more than 30 years of experience, Priority Printing SS has been the preferred solution for hundreds of companies discounts for any printed materials. At Priority Printing SS, they believe in listening to you, bringing you creative ideas to effective results. Your printed materials talk about your company. Make sure they open the door for you. Trust your printed materials to the experts. Call Priority Printing SS at 713-575-9800 and let Priority Printing SS handle with ease all your printing needs.
All right, folks, we are back. Thank you for tuning in and staying tuned in. My name is Rick Gutierrez, and we are back. This is BNI Now, and I'm really excited to have a first-time guest here on the show, a BNI member. This is always for BNI members, so no suggestion. No guessing there. This is all about BNI being able to provide a service to our BNI members. It's an added benefit to all our BNI members. So I'm really excited to have Ray Ugalde here on the show for the first time. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Rick. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure, and I'm glad that you are here. I know that you probably have been wanting to be here, and or maybe one of our staff here on the studio maybe contacted you and said, hey, you need to come on the show because you haven't been on the show yet. So being that it's a free advertising for your business, so why not, right?
Right. Exactly.
Even though we may get a little bit nervous here and there, but it's all good, right?
Right.
So this is your moment to shine. This is because you're on live TV. I don't know if that makes you even nervous or not, but it does me. But this is your moment to shine. Tell us a little bit about your business. Introduce yourself, your products, your services. And in a regular traditional BNI meeting, you probably have somewhere around 30 to 60 seconds to do a commercial.
Right. Mm-hmm.
You have a little bit more time here, so you can elaborate more on your business. So feel free to share.
Well, thank you. Well, my name is Ray Ugalde. I'm the owner of AC Comfort. We're a residential, commercial, air conditioning, heating, and indoor quality specialists.
Okay.
So a little bit about the company. We started the company in 2014. So that's when I decided to make that big jump and become my own boss.
Yeah.
So, and since then, the company has grown. We've been blessed.
Good.
So thankfully, we want to use any medium. Like, this was a great opportunity for me.
Right.
And it just happened, during our BNI meeting yesterday. So that I asked one of our members about the commercial that he showed us, and that's how it came about. So
Yeah.
it is great.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being here, and thank you for sharing your commercial. But let's go into AC Comfort, right? You said that you started your business how long ago?
2014.
2014. So about 6 years ago, 7 years ago.
In April. Sorry.
In April, 7 years. So congratulations on going off on your own.
Thank you.
I know how difficult that decision may have been, and or maybe even some challenges at the beginning starting a business, right? And so it happens to all of us that it happened to me. We decided, my wife and I, to go off on our own, and so it's a leap of faith, if you would. But
it is
a leap of faith with the right vision, with the right goals, and putting massive action to those goals, to that vision. That's how you end up here with tremendous results, right?
Yes. Well, I'm sure a lot of us, when we first start the business, it's just ourselves. So that's how I started. So yes, challenges always. You wear too many hats at the beginning, and then you need to find a way to get those hats off of you,
Right.
and to be able to grow the company.
Right.
So thankfully, we've been able to build a culture in our company that, from the office, our dispatch staff, they're the first, the face of the company, because they're the ones that
Right.
encounter the customer when they call.
Right.
So we've been able to do a good job there, and I believe with the goals that we have in mind, we'll be able to grow and expand.
That's awesome. And 7 years later, tell us a little bit about AC Comfort. How much has it grown in 7 years?
In the 7 years, well, like I said, we went from one truck, and now we got 7.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay.
our goal is to add a couple more this year.
Okay.
And eventually, we, service the Houston area. At the moment, we do some part of Houston, but mainly West Houston, Katy, Richmond, Sugar Land, Cypress, that area. But our goal is to service the whole Houston area.
Yeah. So, I have a high level of respect for people in your industry, for you, because you guys get to do some of the work that a lot of us, one, do not know how to do, first and foremost. But sometimes some of this work we do not like to do, which is like crawling in the attics, for example, right?
Right.
So tell us about those type of services that you guys provide. I mean, and we know that you do commercial, residential, AC, and heating, but go a little bit more into detail as to from just a repair or full installation.
Well, we do basically everything, from repairs, maintenance, into replacement of equipment.
Okay.
So one thing I tell homeowners is to, when they're, in the process of getting new equipment, to do the research. It's not plug and play. Equipment needs to be installed to specific standards, codes.
Right.
It is important to know the company that's doing the work and to make sure they're licensed, insured, so that if something happens, nothing goes back to them.
Right.
So, but yes, most people don't want to be out, especially in this part of Houston or Texas, without AC.
Yeah, no, if it's 105 degrees outside and you climb into the attic, that's probably not where most people want to be.
No, and the attic normally gets to about 120.
Yeah.
So yes, someone has to do it.
Right.
We have the people, they're trained to be able to do the job correctly.
Yeah. And so one of the questions that kind of comes up to me, an AC installation, does the product of the AC, the equipment, is it determined by the age of the home?
Not necessarily, no.
Okay.
Like with everything, technology has been changing.
Right.
So with the new energy standards, we need to make sure that the equipment is going to be the correct size for the house.
Gotcha.
Whether the house is 20, 30 years old or 10 years old. So, and
the reason why I ask that is because, my wife's a realtor, and we see, and show many houses. And so when I walk a property, I can tell, whether the insulation has never been, replaced from the time that the house was built. So I sit there and sometimes wonder that it's like, if this house needed a new AC system, would it have to have a particular type, either a brand or a certain type of product, to be able to compensate the amount of energy that house would need in regards to the AC system?
Well, the main thing with an AC, you want to make sure you get the size correctly. Before, it was mainly about tonnage. Most people, when they ask what size system do I need,
That was my next question.
they go by tonnage,
Right.
which is not like weight. It's actually the amount of BTUs that it takes to cool a space.
Okay.
That's really what people need to be asking now, like how many BTUs that unit can provide of cooling. With the new efficiencies right now, it affects the BTU rating. You want a higher C rating, it can affect the BTU rating, so that's why you want to make sure that you get the correct size for your house.
So I imagine that you have seen this in clients' homes, or maybe clients may have concern about certain areas of the house not cooling the same as other areas, right?
Right.
So what is that all about, and what does it entail, and how do you guys fix that?
I want to say that's probably one of the main complaints that we get from homeowners, that they got hot spots or cold spots.
Okay.
So most of the time it's just air balancing. Most homes, they're not really balanced correctly. So depending on how the work was done, especially in the attic, we should be able to balance the airflow better.
Okay.
So, but it's mainly an air balancing issue when you have hot spots.
Okay, so an air balancing issue, meaning that there is more air going to one air duct versus another, and how do you direct that, or how do you balance that?
Well, if the installation was done properly, they should have put dampers in the equipment in the attic to be able to balance airflow. I mean, our can be affected by how many exterior walls that room has, how many windows it has, and the insulation. Insulation is kind of like AC, and insulation goes hand in hand.
Right.
You have enough insulation, it helps prevent all that heat from getting inside the house.
Yeah.
But air balancing is mainly about the ductwork, how it was done. So.
Awesome. So interesting, because these are all things that clients, homeowners, have concerns, and they want to know how to fix all of this. So it takes a very, very good and reputable AC and heating company to be able to provide the highest quality level of service and products, right? So, as you know, in my industry, I'm in a marketing industry, so there's hundreds, if not thousands, of competitors out there. Same thing with AC and heating, right?
Yes.
So, aside from what you mentioned a little bit earlier about going off on your own, and you started off with just yourself and whatnot, but throughout the 7 years that you built your business, you mentioned something also a little while ago, creating the culture within your staff, right, and taking it out to the clients. If I was to call you today and you come out to the house, what can I expect when your staff member comes over to my house?
What you should expect from us is whether you were doing just for like a regular maintenance, or if you have a problem and you want to have something repaired, you should expect the full report.
Okay.
That's one thing that we have noticed from feedback from the customers, is that once we show them that report and we show them pictures of what we're talking about, they always go back and say, how come nobody showed me this before? So that's one of the biggest things that I tell technicians is do the work correctly, and you won't have to worry about what the customer is going to say. They're going to be impressed, and go the extra mile for them. So customer service is one of the biggest things that we encourage and tell our technicians to do it.
Absolutely, because you want to build that relationship with that client, right? I always tell folks, how many times will a client do business with you if you don't build that relationship with them first?
Right.
And it comes with quality service, right? And integrity and honesty, right? And being able to be transparent with our clients with a full inspected report as to what the client, the homeowner, can have, so that they can see what all their system needs, right? So when you come into the house, please tell me a little bit about, especially nowadays when you go into customers' homes, safety measures, COVID and all that good stuff. I mean, your staff is trained and all that good stuff to handle that?
Well, unfortunately, since last year, since this whole COVID-19 started, we had to take all the measurements for safety for the customers and our people. So, wear masks, gloves, shoe covers. Well, shoe covers are normally always something that we use, but make sure we tell the homeowner that we're doing that when they call.
Gotcha.
So just to make sure they're okay with that.
So the customer experience begins from the phone call that your office receives, and your staff in the office educates the client as to what the client can expect when the repair the repairman goes out to the property. So that's amazing. And the reason why I say that's amazing is because many years ago, before BNI, just want to make that clear, many years ago, before I knew BNI, I had an issue with an AC unit in a house when that I used to own. And the gentleman that came out to fix my AC, it appeared that he had just come from a swamp, if you would.
Okay.
He had some very long boots that looked like had a lot of mud, which I get in that industry. That's probably somewhat common, right? But this gentleman did not have the audacity to wear anything.
Right.
He came into the house, full of mud and all that stuff. Did not provide us with any report. He just says, well, this is wrong and this is wrong, and you need this and you need that, and it's going to be, $8,000. Right. And I'm like, what?
They're not building credibility that way.
Absolutely. I mean, so I told him thank you, but no thank you, obviously. And so when I came into BNI, I was so amazed with the fact that we have BNI members, reputable BNI members, high quality business professionals that provide the high quality level of service like yourself, and your company and your staff being trained the right way, right? So it's an amazing thing. So thank you so much for taking those measurements, safety measurements, first and foremost, for our clients. And also congratulations on going off on your own almost 7 years ago.
Yes.
It
was a big leap of faith. So.
Big leap of faith. I can totally relate. But look at it now. Totally well worth, right?
It is.
And one of the greatest quotes that I ever heard by Martin Luther King, I think it was, is to where it is a leap of faith. You don't have to see the entire staircase. All you have to do is take the first few steps. And everything else that comes along that, there may be some great opportunities, but there may also be, I don't like to call them challenges. I just like to call them hurdles that you need to, overcome to get to the end result, your vision of what you wanted to have, which is your business now. So congratulations on that. That's big. That's huge. And congratulations to you, your staff, and your family for taking that leap of faith. Now, I'm going to put a big old smile on your face because I want you to tell me about your BNI chapter.
I knew that was coming. I'm part of BNI Katy.
How did I know that? I knew that.
It's, if I'm not mistaken, is the original BNI group in that area. So we're one of the largest too.
Yeah.
Currently, we have 55 members.
Right.
So we're working on becoming a platinum chapter. More than 60. I've been part of that group since 2016.
Nice.
So can't say enough about the group. Just building relationships.
Yeah.
That's really what I take from BNI course, because it's a family that you join basically.
Yeah.
So, and the leadership right now, and before, they've done an amazing job. So, but BNI has helped us a ton growing the business.
Yeah.
And that's why I've been a member since 2016.
Yeah. Blessed enough to be a member and to land the AC chair in that chapter, because BNI Katy, you're correct. BNI Katy is one of the older chapters in the city of Houston. Been around now, I think maybe close to 30 years or something like that in Houston. And BNI Katy is you guys have done so much, to help not only the members but reaching out to the communities and being able to help and support one another. And the reason why I know so much about BNI Katy is because I have great friends and in BNI Katy, and now you as well. Now that I know you.
Thank you.
But we've got Christina Long, who is a great friend of mine. She's also a great launch director for BNI. And Mr. Dowda Khan, he was there, Mr. President.
Yeah, he's the reason why I'm here today.
Yeah, exactly. So he was here a couple of weeks ago. We had a ton of fun, having just like we are now. And he was able to do his video business card here, and which turned out amazing. I saw it. So BNI Katy is an amazing chapter. And so this is a time for you to tell our viewers, how do our viewers get in touch with AC Comfort and Ray Ugalde, so we can get you go out to customers' homes and give them some quotes on.
Well, the best way to get a hold of us is to go to our website, acomfort.us. The number is 832-427-6897. But on our website, they'll find how to get a hold of us, a form where they can request a service, and a list of all the services that we provide. Also information about our maintenance agreement that we recommend anybody to join, not just, even if it's not with us, with any company that offers some type of maintenance agreement, to make sure that your equipment gets service every year.
Okay, wonderful. And just very quickly, BNI Katy, you guys meet what days and what time?
We meet every Thursdays at 7 o'clock.
Oh, you guys are that early chapter.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I love it too, because we get to just get it over with in the morning and move on and take care of a day.
Absolutely. Well, Ray, thank you so much for being on the show. We certainly do appreciate it. We hope that you come back and tell us what AC Comfort is doing, and all that good stuff. So thank you for being on the show, and we'll see you again next time.
Thank you, Rick, for having me.
All right, folks, there you have it. We had an amazing show today, and thank you for tuning in. My name is Rick Gutierrez, Managing Launch Director for BNI, and BNI